My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Today we come across this gospel passage, which seems to be the shortest in this month of January, just 2 verses. It refers to the moment Jesus, just after he had chosen the 12, he returned home, and the crowd came together again so that they could not eat. And when his family heard it, they went out to seize him, for people were saying, he is beside himself. I was thinking, Jesus, you are going to say something. How did you feel on hearing this? At this moment when at home you were attending to people who were in need, teaching them, healing them, as you often do. We also approaching you, and only for people, gossipers, neighbors, your family, your own people say that you're out of your mind. What do they want? I mean, ask myself this question. Have you ever been called mad by somebody? Actually, I was going to refer to the preacher of the same passage a year ago. He titled his meditation, Holy Madness. One can look it up on the app of the 10 Minutes with Jesus, Holy Madness. But Jesus, you say nothing at this moment when they call you mad. I mean, you're okay with it. Are you telling me that I shouldn't react when I also hear people, because it happens on occasions, say on the road or at home, or by people who don't understand my decision in life, that they regard you as mad? I was listening to some responses some people had about the situation in which one is called mad. I took it as a compliment. Let's face it, so many interesting people are considered to be mad by those who fail to understand them. Another person said, continue doing whatever it is that you are doing that caused them to say that. They're trying to say you're insane. However, the same was said of many great people in the past. Another, agree, of course. It's one of my many faults. There is a fine line between madness and genius. I'm no genius, but I've always thought outside the box. And it has led to many successes and a few crash and burns. No risk, no reward. Well, I can probably say, Jesus, you're a genius. You're not mad. It can't be because you've gone about doing good. A favorite saint observed in Jesus all that you've done for us, meditating on the passion, will say, it is the Son of God passing by, a madman madly in love. And it's true. Crazy. As if Jesus, you inaugurated a generation of crazy people. Take, for instance, St. Paul. In this week of the octave of prayer for unity of Christians, which we conclude with our celebrating the conversion of St. Paul. In the Acts of the Apostles, we read that St. Paul was making his defense before Festus, the governor, and King Herod, who came around. And at a point, Festus said with a loud voice, Paul, you are mad. Your great learning is turning you mad. But Paul said, I am not mad, most excellent Festus, but I'm speaking the sober truth. Well, he played with that. I'm not mad, neither am I drunk, neither am I insane, but I'm speaking the sober truth. Clearly, Jesus, you were fully with yourself on engaging in this activity, caring for people, ignoring for a while that you had to eat. Just like that moment when the disciples also came back having bought food and were urging you to eat, and you said, I have food that you do not know, because we are keen on converting souls. I mean, we find these examples of great men and women of faith, and also in these times. I remember the story of a boy who was committed to going for daily mass. He found himself one day in his relative's home, and he wanted to go for evening mass, as he often did. It was during vacation. And they threatened him, warned him that it wasn't safe to go outside. It could have been the case, but according to the boy's reading, it was not dangerous because the chapel was not far from the house and it was within the same estate. But those relatives who were playing host to him went ahead to lock the gate and seize the keys. He managed to get away, I don't know how, very happy going for Mass, receiving our Lord. For him, he thought they were the ones obsessed with security, while they accused him of being obsessed with this thing of Mass. It can happen. We have situations of people who have decided to follow God, say in a vocation of apostolic celibacy, and having to face open aggression by the family members. Or like you, Jesus, they tag you mad, and they tag people like this mad. I think it's good for us to learn. Jesus, you are teaching us to persist in following you, in doing the right thing. Once we discover that it clashes with the standards of the others, who may not be ready to go that length to follow you. We have a good example, especially for the Nigerian Catholics. Today, we celebrate the feast of Blessed Cyprain Iwene Tansi. According to Pope John Paul II, on the occasion of his beatification, the life and witness of Father Tansi is an inspiration to everyone in the Nigeria that they love so much. Born in 1903 at Aguleri in the Archdiocese of Onitsha, he was ordained a diocesan priest in 1937, worked as an assistant parish priest before he became parish priest for many years. Later, he entered the Mount St. Bernard Cistercian Monastery in Leicester, England, and died in 1964, having made up his mind to come back to introduce the monastic life. He lived in the, early stage of Christianity in Nigeria. As a priest, he was devoted to his people. He was a man of the people. Everyone who met him was touched by his personal goodness. For instance, as a very ascetical priest, he ate little, and his cook did not have much work, except when he had visitors. And yet he was very generous with his visitors. On one occasion, a seminarian who came to help out was around. That seminarian would later become the Bishop Godfrey Okoye. He told the seminarian, when it was time to go to bed, "Promise me that you will do whatever I request." The naive seminarian agreed, and then he pointed at his bed. The portable bed he had used for years, and offered the seminarian the comfort of lying on the bed while he managed the seats for the night. And he sacrificed all the best he had for the visitor while he accepted discomfort for the others. He was known for the abundant catechesis he carried out. A lot of people he taught have also grown up as good Catholics, including Cardinal Francis Arinze, who is indebted to Blessed Tansi. Maybe at that time he would have also been taken as extreme, as insane. He fought the bad enculturation that was going on when people were mixing up traditional things, traditional religion with Christianity. He knew how to spread the gospel, but was wary of the contaminations that could come from the local customs. He's telling everyone that we should entirely be for God, that there should be no compromise on the good news of Jesus Christ. He's telling Nigerians and other Africans, and indeed the wider world, to respect women, to live pure lives, and build up healthy families. These were things that he taught to Nigerians and Africans. He's a model of a citizen who loves his neighbor beyond religious, ethnic, and cultural frontiers. To civil and religious authorities, Father Tansi shows how to live authority as service and sacrifice of self for the benefit of others. To Europeans and Africans, Father Tansi shows how different races can live in harmony and solidarity in recognition of God as our common Father. He's telling Africans that all are called to holiness, which is the perfection of charity. Now, permit me to give one last example. It was a story that Pope Francis himself told young people in the World Youth Day of a certain young man called John of Ciudad. He was a youngster who left home in search of happiness. He found it after many years and many adventures when he encountered Jesus. So he decided to change his name from John of Ciudad to John of God. And he did something daring. He went into the city and started begging in the streets. His formula for begging was, "Do good, brothers, to yourselves." He was asking people for charity, but told them that by helping him, they were in fact helping themselves first. Well, people misunderstood John. They thought he was crazy and put him in an asylum. But he did not lose heart, because love never gives up, the Pope says. And those who follow Jesus never lose their peace of mind and do not weep for themselves. And it was right there in the asylum, as he carried his cross, that God inspired him. John realized how much the sick needed help. And when they finally let him out, after a few months, he began to care for the sick together with some companions. So he founded a religious order, the Brothers Hospitallers. But some start referring them to it with a different name. Do some good brothers. Fata Bene Fratelli. What a marvelous name. But we are doing good, even if we are tagged crazy, mad, like you, Jesus. May we not relent. May we persevere. First of all, may we not get aggressive or retaliate. Let's know how to maintain our cool, just like you. We ask the Blessed Virgin Mary, who accompanied you, Jesus, all this while, even up to the cross, enduring all the insults, to help us to accept that tag if it comes, for the sake of the good we are doing, for the sake of our service to God and the Church, and to continue without relenting. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations which you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help to put them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.